Hi, this is Judy with Primitive Quilts and Projects, the P2P Stitch Club, and I'd like you to meet Patricia Sanabria-Friederich of PGT Designs. Hi, Patricia. How are you today?
I'm doing good with a little bit of cold, but I'm doing good. Thank
You
you.
and a million other people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to tell us a little bit about yourself and your work?
Okay. Like you said, my name is Patricia Sanabria-Friederich, and I've been quilting for a long, long time and doing like handwork, embroidery, and all that kind of stuff for the long time. And lately, I've been more focused into applique and wool applique, and for me, it's doing very well, very, very well.
Great.
Mhm.
Well, you have a beautiful design in our January issue called Out on a Limb with dimensional applique. It's really pretty. You want to tell us about that and how you came up with the idea?
Okay. Uh, I live out on the country, and we have lots of bird feeders and animal feeders, so we can get all creatures around. So birds are always my favorite, um, you know, animals to see. And then we have a lot. Is it in summer? Is a lot of birds. In winter, I just love uh, the cardinals because they pop. The color is so bright. The red ones, the male is so bright, and then they look so nice. We have some pine trees and things, and they look so nice. So once I was looking through the window and I see a cardinal in a pine tree. And I said, "Oh, that's wonderful for a wall applique." So I took a picture, and then I came in the house and I started doing my drawing. And then that's what I just put one more, so he wasn't alone. So I just add one more. But that's how that design came.
Wow, that's that's pretty neat. Just kind of presented itself to you and was probably begging to be recreated, huh?
Yeah, it's a good thing to live out in the country for me, at least for me, because I like nature and things like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's obvious through your work that you're a nature lover.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, would you like to demonstrate any part of creating this for our readers?
Okay. I'm just gonna explain a little bit how I do my work, and then the tools that I use. Eh, it's for me, it's very simple. I don't have any specific technique that is unique or anything. It's a lot of techniques out there. And this is the one that works for me and the products that work for me. So I do everything by hand. I don't use computer for my drawings. I just do it by hand. And in this one here, you can see like this. It's
Hmm.
just hand dye. It's done by hand. And
Hmm.
then I go with a marker and then do it a little bit darker so I can see, how it looks. And then I start getting the pieces separate and then getting the design, you know, kind of pull apart so I
Hmm.
can recreate in different colors and textures that I'm going to be using. And that's how I start. And then, okay, this is how I do my designs. I do everything by hand, and then I just draw with a pencil, and then after that I go with a marker to make it darker, and then after that's done I just take a piece of paper and then start breaking out my drawings and take the leaves out and the petals and then separate, and then that's how I start coming up with my pieces. Then I like to use the stem and seam too, And then when I have all the pieces, I just transfer to my seam 2. And I like to leave like a 1/4 inch or a little more between shapes, each shape, so it's easy to cut around. And then that will be like something like this. And when this is when I have all my pieces like that, I look for the correct color wool that I'm going to be using, and then I will put it in my wool, and then I press. And then after that is done, then I will come back and cut, the shape in the uh, drawing line. And then after that is just peel your paper, and then you come to your background fabric. That this is the design that I'm using this piece. So I just put it in place. And then when you have that, the pieces from the background first, and you work by layers. So you have the leaves done. I like to do it this way. I put the leaves first, and then I come up with the flower, and then I put the pieces on top. And then I use this other product that I took a class with Jill Shells, I believe is Yellow Creek Designs. And then she introduced me to this, and I love it. I used to use other product, but after I took her class, I stick with this. It's just wonderful. So you just use this. It's very thin, but protect your wool or your applique very well. So you have your piece in place, and if you want, you can use a pin to hold it. But for me, this is a little bit sticky in the back, so it stays very well. So I don't use any pins, but um, this is how I put it in top. And then I spray with a bottle of water, and spray very nice. And then I get my iron and press this. And then the pressing affair protect your wool. And then after that, I'm gonna remove this so you can see this is already um, stay in there, fuse in there. And I like to do it this way because when I go somewhere, I always take my sewing box with me. So any piece is not gonna go anywhere. Everything stays in place, and it's very soft. It doesn't give any uh, stiffness to your wool or damage your wool or anything. And like I said, I use the light steam seam 2, the pressing affair. And I have these tools that I have, I like to use too. I have the twisters that I like to use when I working with my pieces. And then if I need to put it somewhere or something, and I don't want the other pieces, if they are not fused, so to move around, so I use the tweezers. Not necessary, but for me are very handy. And then I have the shark pens that I like to use in different colors. All depends on the color of the background. Like for this project, I just used a white shark, and then I just draw a line in there. And maybe when you're working on your embroidery here, this start getting faded a little bit, but you always can carry this around, and if it start getting you just go again and mark. So it's not a big deal. One more thing that I want to say, I just do this, and I do the pine needles here and there, but at the time that I'm doing my project, I'm going to show you how I do it too. I may be here's one and here's one, but maybe I can see this two separate, and I need one more, so I add in there. Or maybe here I have too many, so I just don't do all of them. So it's all up to you how you want to do that. One other thing, I like to use needle, chenille needle 24, and I like to use beeswax. And the beeswax is very handy for me because I like to use it like in the end of my thread, and I just go like twice. I just press and pull like this, so it just leave me, you know, like a little stiff to and pull the threads together, and it's very easy to thread the needle that way. And for the other part of the thread, I just go once, and that's it. And then it doesn't tingle or anything for me, so it's very nice. You don't need to go too heavy in the wax. And this one, you can see it's very old, but this is how it will look, you know, if it's new. It's just gold color. It's pure beeswax. Mine is old, like I said before, so that's very, you know, kind of dirty with all the threads that go through there, but this is how it used to be. So now I'm going to demonstrate to you some of the stitches that I like to do, and then I start in the back. And sometimes if I want my branch to look thicker, I just do chain stitch. If I want it a little fine or it's a small branch, then I just do stem stitch. I use very simple stitches. I don't use you know, nothing too fancy. That can intimidate the people, and it says, oh, I cannot do that, that's hard or something. So I just use simple stitches, and I try to combine stitches too. So I just gonna do a little more here so I can show you how I do this. And then I'm gonna stop here so I can show you this. So here is my branch. Now I'm gonna go back. If I'm working in something that I want, like I said before, the branch they look thicker, or I just go right next to it, and I go with a running stitch, a small running stitch right next to it. I'll show you in a minute better so you can see. And this one went too far, like that. And let's say I finish here, and then I want to do the other side. And you can use variegated threads. It look very nice. I've been using variegated Baldani threads. That's a thread that I always use. Baldani threads, they make a difference in your project when you use good threads. And they have a big selection and collection, the designers. I often use other designers' collection of threads because it is, you know, very nice put together, and then this way you give a little more dimension to your branch. And for the pine needles, as you see here, already start fading. So I just go again. So, and then just do the pine needles. Excuse me. You just do the pine needles in a straight stitch. can you can see right here, they look like too uniform. So I can go back and make little stitches in between. And that way give a little more dimension to the branch. And then even as in some occasions you can go over one. I'm working very uh, not very uniform in here, but like like you can see that, so it look more natural. And then that way you can keep going and do all your branches. And that's how I do my projects. For the rest of the design, probably I just going to use my blanket stitch all around the pieces with threads that maybe give some dimension. Maybe I use variegated threads or something. And when I'm going to work with the leaves, then I use the shock again. Like here, I have this one here. So I just go like this. I broke. I just go like this, and then I do with this is the time that you can give movement to your leaves, because if you do this, it gives the illusion that one is facing the way, the other one is facing this way. Excuse me again. And the same thing here. Oops. The same thing in here. And that you keep going like that, or with these branches, or this one in here, and then you keep that. For this design, probably I'm going to have here like or French knots, or maybe some yellow buttons in here, and for the berries too, maybe some small buttons, red buttons, or and it all depends. I take those decisions when I'm, in working in the project, and then I says, oh no, I don't want buttons. No, I want French nuts or something. So I just go, with the flow, like you said. And then this is how I have my work. And then I hope this help you, and that you enjoy any projects that you're working on. Mhm.
All righty. Well, that was very helpful. Thanks for showing us how you do this.
Okay.
And I can't help but notice that you are such a talented artist, that that you sketch those by hand is amazing. Have
Thank you.
you been an artist all your life?
Well, kind of, yeah. I always like to draw, and I always like to do, a lot of work with my hands. And when I went to school, I always take, very serious art classes and everything. I tried to learn everything that I could. And then,
Mhm.
yeah, I think it's that kind of run in the family, because my younger brother, Mario, he's very good. He,
Mhm.
he, he paints, he draws, um, and I have cousins. They are very good artists, and so it's kind of in the family. I think I'm not as good as some of them. Some of them are professionals. So,
Wow.
and but I have a little bit of that.
I think you have a lot of it. And I'm glad you mentioned Mario because he has a project coming up in February or March, I think. So I'm excited to have some of his work in our magazine.
Yeah, it's very nice. All I see some of his projects that he's working on that are going to be in your magazine. Oh, they look very nice. Very
Oh,
nice.
good, good.
Mm.
I'm
Yes,
excited. Let's see. Do you sell kits for this design?
yes, able to sell kits from all my designs,
Mhm.
and some of my early designs are I retire. I still have the pattern, but not the kits. But for the most of the newer designs, I always have a kit. Yeah,
Okay.
people can go to my website and order the kit, or some people call me and says, "Can you make me and the kit of something that maybe I don't have in the website because maybe I retired that
Mhm.
most because the walls, they change and I'm not able to get it again.
Mhm.
So I says I can do it in similar wools or similar fabrics, but not exactly how the pattern show. And then some people says, okay, it's fine. And someone, okay, no, I like that way. Okay, so it works that way better for me and for the customer.
Okay, that's great. Do you have any news to share? Anything new going on?
Oh, well, yeah, I have a couple things. Once I was very excited because this past quilt market in Houston, my designs using the wools from Marcus Lana Co. I think it's called Lana Co. Um, they were in display in the Marcus booth, and I was very excited to see all my work, hanging in there in the booth, and they look nice, and so that's very very good for me. It made me feel very good. And then the other one is I going to be in Chicago in H&H show, and I believe it's oh, I forgot the date. I think it's April or May, at 2025. Yeah, and I'm going to be in the designers booth. We are like 20 or 21 designers that we are going to be sharing the booth, and each of us are going to have um, our work in our display in there, and we are going to be able to do demonstrations and then and show our work in there. So if you are nearby Chicago, go and take a look at the show because this is going to be my first time in there. But I hear from some friends this is just amazing. The environment is very going and people is very excited and it's as big as Houston maybe because yes, fabric companies go there. The all the art companies go in there too because it's with fabrics, with yarn and threads and everything related with craft.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's a big selection of everything that you can find in there. So I'm very honored to be with big names in that stage in there because I just I don't feel like I'm in the position, but I was invited for one of my friends, and then I sent all my work, and I qualified to be there. So I'm very honored to be part of the group.
Great, congratulations. That's exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow. Um, do you teach?
Yes, I do. I I teach here out of my house for
Mm,
groups. So I have a room that I can sit comfortable, 6 people.
mhm.
So that's what I do when a group of people contact me and they says, okay, I can take 6, no more, because I want them to be comfortable. So, but other than that, I go to guilds and I go to shops and I teach there.
Mhm.
Like my schedule is getting full for next year because I have um, guilds presentations and workshops, and I have shows, and I was invited this year to be the teacher for a retreat in Indiana. So I'm gonna be in Wild Woolly retreat
Yeah.
in Chihuahua, Indiana, and I'm gonna be teaching there too. And then some other shops around United States and in the in this area too.
Mhm.
I I go wherever they call me. I go
That's
if I am available. You know,
fantastic.
yeah, I'm happy to go and teach or
Okay,
transfer or something. Yes.
fantastic. Okay. Um, well, if our viewers would like to learn more about you, how can they find you?
Okay. Um, my website is patternsfromgrandmastrunk.com, and then you can find it like that. But we're trying to switch because it's such a long name. My husband come up with that name, to be honest. And so I says it's too big. What about PGT? So that way people don't have to say all that. So pgtdesigns.com, and they can find it that way too. So,
Okay.
and they can go to the website, and then all my patterns have the telephone number and the website in the back too. If they have any questions or any concerns, they are more than happy to, um, I can answer for them any questions or anything, and or they can email me to my lawn email,
Oh boy.
Friedrich gmail.com. And then that's again, my husband is the one that made that. So um, it's big, but I got a lot of email questions and things like that in my email, and then I can answer them. So either way, they can call me too if they are patients, because being deaf is not easy sometimes on the phone, but most of the people is easy and patients. They repeat to me, and then I help them, and then that way we can communicate, and then I help them.
That's beautiful. Well, I want to thank you so much for your time and for sharing this project with us and sharing your art with the world. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for watching. And I hope you go to Patricia's website and some of these shows and some of her classes. I think you'll enjoy it. Okay,
Thank
thanks.
thank you.